Hello. Our other chair is empty, but Mr. Moore will be back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's going to be bringing us some coffee. Do you guys have your coffee? Let's see. Hi, am I supposed to be hearing or seeing something? Yes, you're supposed to be hearing and seeing me. Hello. Welcome. Um, I don't know how to get these chairs to cooperate. They're like moving all over the place. I need to make sure I'm still on screen. It's a crazy day. How is everyone? Is everybody excited for Easter? Hopefully you're still able to celebrate even though most of us are stuck at home. That's why I decided to make our wait screen our cute little quarantine Easter bunny, because I think that is most of us right now. So and I also wanted to give a big shout out because I know a lot of our alphas are not just essential like grocery store workers, but we also have alphas who are working in the medical field and alphas who are making masks right now. So I wanted to give all of you guys a big thank you. I have tried my hand at sewing and I will leave it to you guys because your masks are so pretty. You take like this really boring concept and you make it cute, and I would end up with a ball of wadded up fabric. So let's see who's hanging out with us today. Etsy's been waking up. More viewers, a sale or two, and I'm not selling masks. I'm out of practice that way anyway. Yeah, same. Yeah, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Etsy as well today because Etsy is doing very, very well all of a sudden, which means this is a really good time to start marketing. But first, I want to wait for Mark to get down here while he's getting our coffee prepped and say hello to a few of you. Let's see. Hey, ya! Pretzel Cosplay. Let's see. Anne is here. Sarah is here. Hey everyone, this is my first Friday bean since I normally work at this time. We're getting that a lot. That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that you're not at work unless you don't want to be at work, but it's awesome that you're able to join us regardless. You got to be careful what you say on the internet. No matter what, you might upset somebody. So kind of got to dance around my words. Let's see. Gary, hello. Ryan, hello. Amber, hello. That's so much. Thanks so much to all the essential workers doing so much during this time. Absolutely. My alter ego is in IT. We support the essentials. All of our others are closed. Yeah. Let's see. I got 5 orders this week. That's awesome. Yeah, let us know if your sales are. And we polled the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. Oh, is it Stephen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it's
We did a poll in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community to ask alphas if they are seeing a change in their sales. And that poll went a little bit more in depth. We said, are you seeing a lot of sales? Are you seeing like no sales at all? Are your sales the same, or are you starting to see them climb after the initial COVID-19 like announcement where sales did slow down? And most of our alphas said that they're finally starting to see a climb in sales, which is awesome. You have a hat now.
I do have a hat now. My hair is very messy, and I forgot.
Oh, well,
There's a very, very pretty bird on your bird feeder outside.
Did you take a picture of it?
My phone is dead, sitting on my desk.
Oh, okay.
It was like jet yellow with black and white striped butt feathers.
Aw.
Tiny little bird like this big.
I've been waiting for birds to use my feeder. I'm just looking out.
Beautiful.
Looking out the window, angry. Where are you? So let's see. Sales are up for me too, averaging 6 to 8 per day, up 57%. Couple no sales. Hopefully we can kind of help out with that just a bit. Need more room?
I just need to be on camera.
There you go. All right. So right now, what we're noticing is that a lot of brands are adapting and a lot of brands are not adapting. A lot of brands are still able to perform and prosper, and a lot of brands are remaining stagnant, and you're not really hearing a lot from them.
Ouch.
And you can almost bet that the brands that we're not hearing a lot from have, there's probably big online meetings, hopefully, where these people are scrambling, trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to adapt their business models. Thankfully for us, we have online businesses. So we are already in the environment that is beginning to prosper. 2020 is going to be the year of online sales. We have people who have never ordered items online before who are making their very first online purchases because they have to. They have to learn how to use it. Grandparents are relying on Amazon Prime now rather than going to the grocery store. So we have all kinds of, shifts that are happening, not just in people not being able to make it to their local grocery store and doing things like pickup orders, but we also have a shift in commerce. And there are a couple reasons for that, not just because of the virus, but because people are stuck at home. And initially, yes, we saw that stall in sales, but what I think is happening right now is that people are starting to get bored. They've sat at home for, most of us have been at home for almost a month now, and the reality has really kicked in where they're like, okay, we're in this for the long haul. This is real. They'll start kind of getting a little bit looser with their, loose change at first, and they'll start kind of seeping out into the online world and spending a little bit of their money and trying to kind of ease that boredom and give them a little rush. Everybody's going to be looking for that little dopamine rush that we get when we make that online purchase, and I've noticed myself kind of doing it too. I'm kind of looking at things that I wouldn't have normally bought if I had the ability to go to stores. So and even if people aren't shopping right now, this is where we need to think about how they're going to be thinking in the future. They may not be shopping right now, but over the next few weeks, their level of boredom might start kicking in, and that might be when they are more loose with their money and ready to spend a little bit on themselves. But even if they're not shopping right now, what they are doing is spending a lot of time online and digesting content. Everyone is home right now. And this is the perfect time to be doing, Facebook Lives and talking to your audience, to go live in a Facebook group. If you've got a Facebook group for your brand, go live in there and start talking with your audience. Post little short 30-second videos of you making your products or panning over your products, or take your products outside and lay them all out in the grass. This is the time to start creating content that people will begin digesting. That way, if they're ready to buy, they will go, to wherever it is that you're selling. Or what's more important is that during this time when everyone is home, you can make the strongest brand impression by being present online and making sure that people are actually building that connection with your brand. And these are things that don't go away. Once you build that connection with them, as long as they continue to see your message so that you can continuously reinforce it, which, following you on Facebook, joining a Facebook group, joining an email list are all ways to do this. But they will be conditioned to kind of know what to expect of your brand, and they will be thinking of you around the holidays when things will pick up regardless of where our economic state is. And I would even dare say that people are going to be digesting more content around the holidays simply because we are kind of going into a new evolution of shopping. We're really turning to online right now, and I feel like this is going to be the shift where people who haven't shopped online are going to think, wow, this was great, Or do you think that right after all of this is over, people are going to flood back into malls and flood back into stores like everything's normal?
I really don't think so.
No.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things they were even talking with with education and like kids returning to school and stuff. It's not a matter of like when it disappears. It's not going to be within the foreseeable future that this is going to go away. It's going to be one of those things where there's fewer and fewer cases, and we're going to get better and better and better at dealing with it. So, like, it's going to pop back up in schools. It's going to pop back up in nursing homes. It's going to pop back up in hospitals. We don't know what the resurgence rate is going to be like. Are people building antibodies to this? Do you get it once and then you're forever immune, or can you just get it and get it and get it and get it? So,
right.
It's going to be a while before people are completely comfortable.
Yeah, and
in their own skin outside of their house.
And that's a personal choice as well, where even if it was completely gone, I'm sure that there's still going to be a little bit of that nervousness lingering within you, right? You're going to be afraid to shake hands and give hugs. And this is probably going to be us, as a human civilization for quite a while. So, but on a brighter note, most sellers right now are reporting that around, and when I say most sellers, let me go ahead and define that so no one gets upset at me in the replay. Most sellers in our community, so over half of the sellers in our community, between the Handmade Alpha Academy and the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, which is free to join down below. But most sellers reported that they are finally starting to see sales return. Okay? This is the opportune time to start getting your business together for online marketing, improving those photos that you've been waiting to do, tweaking your SEO, one listing at a time, please. Don't do it all at once because you might screw up your entire shop. But making sure that you're getting ready. Can you imagine if we could have seen into the future and seen the coronavirus coming? What would you have done to prepare? What would you have done to prepare your online store, your Etsy shop, your whatever, wherever you sell, or the things that you would have needed to order beforehand? I know I had a lot of suppliers disappear throughout this, so it's been kind of hard for my Etsy shop as well. But what would you have done to prepare if you could have predicted that this was going to happen? I'm sure that most of you, we even had a post about it in the Facebook community where you guys gave me all these crazy things that you would have done if you would have known. So now I'm giving you another warning. This warning is that we can see this tidal wave in the distance, and it's way out in the ocean right now, but it's coming towards us, right? And it's going to hit us. And this tidal wave is the wave of shoppers returning to the marketplace as their comfort level kind of comes back. Okay, we see shoppers saying, as of April 1st, it's only the 10th, as of April 1st, their sales are returning. Now, a lot of this is due to the ads that Etsy is running. They're covering our ads right now for the month of April, I believe they said. So we are seeing the result of that. They're investing a lot of money into helping sellers. I've seen, if you go onto the Etsy Success Facebook page, they have a ton of really great little ad videos about shopping small. So there is a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. It's not just your external marketing and your SEO that are resulting in these sales. But why would we not ride that wave? We see it coming. And this isn't something that, you can wait 6 months to start doing. This wave is coming, and then, we're probably going to see our usual summer slow period. Summers are always slow on Etsy. They're slow everywhere. Most online retailers report a dip in sales in the summer because people are outside. They're in the warm weather. They're not sitting on their computers shopping. They are enjoying the sun. And even if they're at home and they're not on vacation, they're still probably spending time with family and trying to take life a little bit easier and, not spending as much money on things like jewelry and trinkets and things that they might shop for more towards the winter. So, do you want to go ahead and read some comments while I catch my breath?
Yeah, it looks like there's a few people were talking about what they would have done. Buying more supplies seeming to be the more popular thing. We'll agree with that, considering a lot of suppliers are in China, or a lot of suppliers get their products from China that they actually supply you with. So we understand that.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
see. One good thing is that businesses have had to switch up to a curbside takeout option. Yeah, we love that. I mean, people are still out of their houses. It really depends on where you are. Around our direct area, it's not so bad, but you travel a little bit outside into some of the lower income areas around us, and nothing has changed. There's still just thousands of people out on the road. It's kind of mind blowing. Let's see here. I've learned a huge lesson on my SEO. I had to shop geared towards wedding, flower girl dresses, and tutu skirts, and I should have 50% wedding, 50% birthday, and dress up play.
That's a good shift. That's a good shift to make, because you never know if this, I don't want to say that this will ever happen again, but you never know.
Again, we don't know if you develop antibodies to this yet, so.
Ryan has a question.
Let's see here. Do you suggest we advertise bestsellers or focus on promoting items with fewer sales?
Oh, always your bestseller. So when it comes to marketing and your ads, when it comes to running ads, you want to make sure that you're focusing on what's already selling, because that is, I mean, that's betting on your winning racehorse. Don't bet on the slow horses just to make them feel good. Bet on the winning racehorse. And what tends to happen is people will come into your shop because of that item that is your winning racehorse. They see it, they want that item, maybe they put it in their cart, or they go into your full shop and they say, you know, I like this shop, I like this product, I'm going to see if there's anything else that I like. And this is where we see those opportunities to sell those items that may not sell as well. You know, maybe they're like little one-offs, or things that just you know, that just for some reason haven't picked up in the market. And this is kind of where we can start seeing those products disappear. But always promote the thing that's going to get people in your store. That's going to be your best sellers, your eye catchers, the products that you see in window displays at the mall around the holidays are the, you know, the top buys. Whatever the hot toy is that season is the one that's going to be in front at the toy store, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing. And then people who are visiting your shop will hopefully be encouraged to maybe pick from some of the items that you're not promoting, or, you know, maybe help boost their overall search ranking by making a purchase of those items. Because once you make a sale of an item, we were just talking about this yesterday with Anthony Wolf and Pam Duthie in the E-Rank group. It's like you make one sale, and that one sale helps to make more sales come. Have you guys ever noticed that you make a sale and then like a sale will follow it? And maybe you haven't made a sale in a month, but if you make one, there's always like a sale or two sales that'll follow that one sale. It's very weird. And I think it's because Etsy kind of boosts your shop up a little bit. I mean, we know that they do that, but I think that that is the result, you know, why that happens. Any other,
Yeah, one person said they tend to go with USA made stuff, typically more eco friendly. Yeah,
oh yeah,
to me, honestly, it just depends on the kind of stuff. Because when it comes to like electronics and stuff, I usually don't like buying American made. Most electronics that I've had that are American made usually aren't that great. But like metalworking, woodworking, that kind of stuff, those supplies,
craftables.
yeah, craftables. Americans are pretty good with that stuff. We always have been. Um, Alice, I sell incense and make them. I see a lot of Etsy shops are selling incense burners from China. Is it okay if I add them in my shop? I feel weird about it, but they might as well buy from me and bundle.
Not if you don't make it. If they're selling something that they just ordered in bulk, then they're technically breaking Etsy's terms of service. It's one of those things where you could get away with it if you wanted to, but don't.
We don't recommend it.
We don't recommend it. I'm sure that Etsy isn't gonna, uh, you know, investigate further. They're just gonna kind of skim over it because they can't tell if you handmade it or not. But I wouldn't. One thing that you could do is, if you can find some super cheap ones, you could add them in as a free gift with your incense if they buy, you know,
By X amount.
yeah, buy X amount and here's a free gift, and put that in your listing photos. If you buy, you know, 50 incense sticks, get this incense holder. Renee.
Yeah. How many times do you renew a listing if it isn't selling? I mean, that's kind of subjective, to be honest. Like,
well, it might not, yeah, because it might not be selling because it's a crap product. It might not be selling because the SEO's bad. It might not be selling because the photos are bad. It might not be selling because it just hasn't made any sales yet and it's not gaining traction in the marketplace. There's a lot of things that you need to look into. I would check on erank.com's rank checker tool and see where it would organically fall on search pages. What page would it naturally fall on if that person had no search history? I would make sure that you're reevaluating your photos. I am a big fan of renewing a listing indefinitely, because I've always said that no matter what, my listings will sell eventually. The right person needs to come along. Sorry, my
and it's
allergies are
a few cents per renew. It's not
20 cents, yeah.
Yeah, it's if 20 cents is breaking your bank, then that's already kind of rough.
Yeah. So I would say, unless it's something that just doesn't match anything in your shop, or the product is crappy, leave it in your shop. Maybe try refreshing the photos. Here's a little story that might help you guys out. I had a key necklace, a skeleton key necklace in my shop. That's what I sell. that had an owl's face. It was an owl's face with crystal eyes. I actually have a similar version in my shop right now. But the original photo of that owl, I had 2 purple stones in the eyes, and the buyer could customize it. But the thumbnail photo I used had the 2 purple stones in the eyes, and then all the color choices listed on the left side of the photo. And it wasn't selling. No matter what I did, it would not sell. I don't know why it was not selling. So I went in and retook the photo, and I replaced the eyes. I think it was purple, but I replaced the eyes with blue. Just because Renee Christine has always said that blue is like the most popular color. Always go with blue. Blue is like one of my favorite colors. Who doesn't like blue, right? So I changed that listing thumbnail to blue eyes in the owl, and it turned into one of my best sellers, and it's still my bestseller almost. I think we're at 6 years later. So just that simple change, exact same product. All I did was change the eye color of the owl, changed everything. So it can be as crazy as taking a better photo of a product that you already have.
Don't even think about it.
Let's see. Trying to find actual questions.
Excuse me. Sorry, I keep yawning, y'all.
Okay, it doesn't look like there are any right now, so I'll go
No.
ahead and move on. So this sounds really crazy right now, like going all in during an economic crisis that is comparable to the Great Depression. But when it's crazy, that's the time to jump in, right? Like you jump in when it's crazy. This is the time to go head first and say, I'm going to go all in and start working on this right now, because you're going to miss this wave if not. And then you're going to feel really bad, and you're going to see the sellers who are doing well, and you're going to feel really jealous that they are doing well, and that, you know, you spent that time not working on your shop. And I also know that this is kind of hard because of stress and because the weather's warming up. Like, we don't want to be inside. We want to be outside with the kids and doing things, but you have to divide out that time. That's what I've been doing right now. I've been kind of dividing my time between getting our yard in shape and spending time with the kiddos since she's not in school right now, and also working on my business. And, you know, obviously I hope Anthony Wolf with E-Rank as well. So it's just about kind of, you know, making sure that you set yourself a good schedule. So this is kind of where the personal part gets in. Mark and I see thousands of Etsy shops a month from different sellers who they submit their shops to us, or, you know, it's Handmade Alpha Academy students, or we're just browsing through our Facebook group and someone posts their shop, and out of curiosity we'll pop it open to see it. And it's always the same thing where sellers say, I have no sales, or I have very little sales. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And we look at their shops, and it's almost like we think to ourselves, how can they not know what they're doing wrong? Because a lot of the time it's the pure aesthetics that are off. The banner is blurry. The shop photos are just bad. And I know that none of us are like expert photographers. Well, I'm sure that there's a few of you in there, but unless, you know, you went to like college for it, you probably aren't an expert photographer. I know I'm not. But there are still ways to get better and to try to improve. You cannot settle for good enough right now, especially when we are going to be competing with a lot of other sellers to, you know, win this traction, right? No one wants to admit that their baby is ugly. Nobody. I understand that. But we have to be willing to say, okay, here's my shop. I know that it's not great right now. I'm not going to settle for where it's at. What can I do right now to fix it? So I recommend, like I said, and we've talked about this so many times, get those shop photos first and foremost fixed up. Those are the number one thing that needs to be fixed. At least your thumbnails. At least get your thumbnails fixed.
Yeah, get your thumbnails going and get your banners fixed too.
Yeah.
I hate clicking onto a shop and seeing a super blurry, distorted banner.
Yeah.
And if it's one of those things that like you really can't look at your own stuff subjectively, because there are people like you out there, get you one of those friends that will tell you that your baby's ugly.
Yeah.
Get more than one. Don't immediately take all of their advice to heart, because when you ask somebody for advice on a professional product, they're gonna think that they're gonna turn into a know-it-all. and they're going to suggest things. Don't take their suggestions, but take their recommendations, I guess. Like, hey, these photos kind of look like crap, or like this isn't a very good picture of you, or you should do this for a picture, or your banner looks like crap, or your colors don't make sense. Like, I forget the actual term for it, but it's really hard to look at your own stuff subjectively and
Right.
be able to adjust what you need to adjust because you've worked so freaking hard on it. Like, especially if you're a newer Etsy shop, because it's like you just put all that work into editing all of your photos and getting them uploaded. You maybe commissioned somebody to make the banner who wasn't the greatest at making those things, and maybe you don't have a good camera, or you think you don't have a good camera.
It's also a challenge of your belief system, because if you
Mm-hmm.
dedicated this time into it, it's something that feels, really personal to you. And unfortunately, that's kind of where artistic businesses are challenged, because as a business, you cannot have emotional ties.
No.
Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You cannot have emotional ties. You have to look at everything very strategically. You cannot put your heart into it. You cannot make decisions based on emotion. You have to go on data. You have to go on just what's true. And with art and artists and creatives, everything is emotional. We create out of emotion.
Everything.
We are married to our ideas, but with business you cannot be married to your ideas. And
You have to be able to split those two personalities apart.
yeah,
You really have to be able to have your creative side and maintain that creative side while at the same time being able to be a professional. Because the thing is, if you're not able to split those, you got to understand like what big picture where this kind of thing would go. Like what would happen if you were to suddenly go into like a mass production stream with your product. Other people are going to be making your products. Machines are going to be making your products. Stores that you don't necessarily agree with are going to be selling your products. Like, what if you were to get up to that next level? Then you're definitely not going to be prepared for it because you never split that personal and interpersonal relationship with your business.
I just realized that we
Did the camera zoom out?
it did.
It did. It zoomed out. That would be this little turd up here bouncing the computer around.
Now they can see the top of the banner.
I can.
So this is really a detachment from your belief system, and that's really hard. I've got another. I know that you guys love it when I go over my little psychology experiments, so here's one for you. There was an anti-smoking campaign that was played to two different groups of people. One focus group of these people, it consisted of all non-smokers, and one consisted of smokers. And they played this ad that the people could listen to, but the ad had a bunch of static on it. It was crackly and it was hard to hear. However, you had a little dial that you could turn to increase or decrease the static to make the message easier to hear or harder to hear. The non-smokers made the message easier to hear so they could hear it. The smokers actually preferred to listen to the music or to the message that was hard to hear with the static, because I know it's bad. I know. You can't be like that when it comes to your business. If that's how you choose to be when it comes to your health, that's fine. You cannot be like that when it comes to your business. It can't be. I know my banner's bad. I know. I know. You can't be like that. You have to go in there and fix these things. If you know, then fix it. Otherwise, your business is not going to be healthy, the same as it's not healthy to smoke or drink an excess of alcohol. Yes, but what are you going to do to fix it? And is it worth it to leave it the way that it is? If you're not happy with your sales, then obviously it's not worth it. It's not worth it to sit on it. Even if you invested a bunch of time into the original designs, banners, photos, whatever it is that is a bad idea, now is the time to fix those. So people are seeking some very specific things right now. And this is where our marketing comes into play. This is our how to market during the coronavirus part, okay? So if you are taking notes, now would be the time. I was going to get out the whiteboard, but we can't have the whiteboard and the backdrop out at the same time. It just doesn't work. So things that people are seeking. And this is from personal ads that I've been seeing that are doing well on Facebook. This is from the products that Etsy is promoting. They have a whole section right now called Stay at Home. And it's all different products that promote staying at home and things to do at home. You'll notice this on most online stores, right now. There's a whole section just for stay at home. So what is it in these stay at home sections that's so popular?
Monopoly.
And what is it? No. What is it that we need to market? Because even if you don't sell one of these products, you can still throw in the feelings and make sure that you're marketing in the right way. So, for example, emotional comfort right now is a big one. Everything ties back to comfort, but emotional comfort, journals, pens, colorful pens and journaling, and self-care and adult coloring. That's another really big one that I'm seeing. Things to self-soothe and spend, things to occupy some time, right? This is emotional comfort. It's self-care. Second one is physical comfort. This one's probably the biggest. Cozy clothing are everywhere. Some of my favorite brands, Aerie by American Eagle, they do, really, really cozy, really cozy like pajamas and joggers, and their whole like brand thing is that they don't touch up their models at all. They have like, their models still have stretch marks and things, and I really liked that when they first came out. So they're one of my favorite brands to follow because they have great product photos of their natural models. But they have a whole line of just cozy, oversized, baggy sweatshirts and baggy jeans, baggy sweatpants, I'm sorry. And their whole thing is just cozy right now. So cozy clothing, cozy pillows, cozy blankets, just anything cozy for that physical comfort, right? Environmental comfort. So this is the things around you. I'm seeing candles, incense, gardening, like outdoor. People are getting outside, home decor. And what I'm thinking, I'm putting this all under a word, and I think that this defines it all. It's nesting, right? We're home and we know that we're stuck here. So we want to make here as comfortable as possible. And people are getting little things to decorate their little nests. Now is the best time to start working on home improvement. Everybody's home, So nesting, things to make people feel good and comfortable. Social comfort. We can't be with our friends and family right now. So what are we doing socially? Cards, gifts to send, long distance, birthdays, anniversaries, all these things are still going to happen regardless of whether or not we're having a crisis or not. They're still going to be there, and people are still going to need to buy products. Mother's Day and Father's Day are coming. Those are two big ones that people have to shop online for those. They have no choice, and they will probably be shipping direct to their buyers. How can you as a marketer talk about that in your marketing? How can you advertise that? What can you do to get people into your store? Start promoting ads that say that you'll ship directly to mom or dad. Start promoting as Mother's and Father's Day gifts to give at a distance. Make sure that you're promoting these things. Don't feel gross about it. This is what every business is doing. We talk about economic decline right now. Economic decline is going to happen when businesses cannot do business. We need to continue doing business. This is helping the economy as a whole. We need to make sure that we're continuing to buy and shop. We need to make sure that we're continuing to market. Otherwise, we don't want people just sitting on their money right now. Don't feel bad about marketing. Every business has to market to survive right now. So anyway, make sure that you're trying to adapt your message to these new norms that we're living in. And then the last one that I have is family comfort. So this is activities, DIYs, puzzles. I'm seeing a lot of wooden games, toys, and things for pets. I'm noticing that BarkBox is one that I follow. They do a subscription box for dogs, and we don't even have a subscription to their box, but their ads are cute, so I follow them just to see their ads. And they're doing all kinds of really cute ads for the quarantine. So these are all different things that we can talk about. Collars for dogs. You can walk. You're still, even if you're on a stay-at-home order, you're still allowed to walk your dog. You can walk around the block. So
in most places, not everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't do it if you're in the Philippines, please.
Yeah, they had a scary notice. But yeah, just make sure that you're promoting based on these problems. Think about the person who's staying at home who's going to buy your product. Why would they buy it right now? Are they buying it to feel good? Are they buying it for themselves? Is it something that's going to soothe one of these things that we talked about? Emotional comfort, physical comfort, environmental comfort, social comfort, or family comfort? Is it a gift? Is it something that they can send to a loved one or relative for their birthday when, things are crazy right now? How is your product going to play in? What are you going to do to make the shift? How are you going to change your current business model to be adapted to, potentially the next few months? Even if you're not making any sales right now, what you are doing is you're building exposure. So don't stop marketing. Make sure that you're showing the world who you are and what you're all about and how your brand has catered to this economic stress. So we're at 12:36. Let's go ahead and get questions in.
There really weren't any. Amber did say
one.
that you need to get your pregnancy, gender announcements, those kind of things. Those are going to be hot.
Yeah.
In about 7 to 9 months.
That's
and then
true.
Somebody else did comment about divorces too. I agree with that. If you make funny products about divorce, this, that, and the other, that's probably another good thing too, because spouses are spending time at home and realizing that they can't stand each other.
That they don't actually like each other.
Right. So those are probably going to boom at some point too, as soon as people are not afraid to go to court anymore.
Yeah, that's one of those things that it feels really icky, but there's going to be a demand for it. So who's going to fill the hole in the marketplace?
Well, and kind of combining with that, a lot of people probably are trying to get divorced, just at the normal rate, but don't want to take the risk to go out and do it.
Right,
go to court,
right.
Go see their lawyer, that kind of stuff. So there's a queue building up for a lot of things. So if you spell a niche specific product for people that can't get the hell out of the house, I would keep that advertising going and keep that stockpile building up, because there's a good chance that those people are going to explode out as soon as they're ready.
Babies and divorces.
I imagine people in the yoga clothing, correct me if I'm wrong, but you people that sell yoga clothing and yoga accessories, I imagine you guys have probably seen a bit of an uptick in sales with people being home and trying their home yoga stuff.
Yeah, home fitness and stuff, trying to, especially if they can't make it to the gym.
Doesn't it take several weeks for SEO to kick in?
Yeah, and we don't have an exact time frame, but I usually say around 60 days is how long it takes to fully kick in. What does happen when a listing gets renewed is it gets a little boost in placement in the marketplace. And what that does is it allows Etsy to see how people interact with that listing. Are they opening it? Are they putting it in their cart? Are they favoriting it? Are they clicking on it and then quickly clicking off of it like they found something that they didn't like? How are they interacting with it? And then from there, over the course of a few days or a few weeks, Etsy decides how it's going to naturally place that item. If a lot of people were clicking on it and if you bought it, Etsy's going to put it higher in search. And if a lot of people, avoided it, or if no one looked at it, or if everybody who looked at it quickly clicked off of it and didn't favorite it or anything, that listing is probably going to end up a little bit lower in search, right? So we want to make sure that when we're doing SEO changes, only do one listing at a time. Give it some time to sit in. If you have eRank Pro, make sure that you go into the monitor tool and monitor the change tracker tool. Change tracker. Make sure that you track changes that you make to your listings. That way you can see how those changes affect your views, sales, favorites, and view, sales, and favorites. You can kind of monitor how those SEO tweaks have affected those things. And just kind of see how those subtle changes affect your listings. What you don't want to do is go change your listings all at once, end up making a devastating mistake, not knowing that you've made a devastating mistake, and then it kicking in, 4 weeks from now. And it's kind of like the same as the coronavirus, right? You can go out, you can get it, and then for 14 days, you don't know that you have it, and then you spread it to everybody else. Think about it kind of the same way, right?
Except you don't spread it to everyone else in this example.
Right. Well, that's kind of it. You don't know that you have a problem, right? Until it's too late.
And also, we get this question a lot, and I'm just going to preemptively answer it. No, don't go renew your listings every day. For the love of God. We dispelled that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And people still ask us that question from time to time. Don't renew your listings every day. You're not doing yourself any justice.
Yeah, there used to be a loophole in the system where Etsy would just bump you if you...
But you're talking 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That is no longer... It hasn't been a thing for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Etsy would bump you in search placement if you just renewed your listing every day, but Etsy figured that out long, long ago.
They got people better at building algorithms.
Yeah, so when you do that now, what you're essentially doing is telling Etsy, this listing is getting bumped over and over again and it's still not selling. This is the crappiest product ever. So it actually hurts you more than it helps. Let's go ahead and, could the burner be considered a supply as you need it for the handmade incense to work?
You're getting into subjective territory there. I'm not necessarily sure if that would work with the burners. But I mean, worst case scenario, like you can offer them as a free thing, but if it goes into subjective content, like I would probably get with Etsy directly with something like that.
Yeah.
Contact their support and get a direct answer, because I don't want to answer something like that.
Grandma in the box said, as a lawyer told me once, don't be married to your business and be willing to separate from it in order to do right by it. That's very true. Sometimes the best way to, if you can see that your business is fizzling out and it's just a bad business model, the best bet is to euthanize it and move on to something else. That business might not be right.
The captain going down with the ship is about nothing but pride.
Yeah, don't say I'm done with business because my one business failed. I started out selling as a child. I sold those beaded pony bead geckos. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I started out selling those, and I moved on to selling tiny little pillows that I would sew and sell in school. My teachers bought them to use as hall passes. And then I moved on to selling hemp jewelry. And then I moved on to selling tattoo designs. I sold tattoo designs for a long time. That's where my business name Art by Starla comes in. And then after tattoo designs, I started making very basic models of what would eventually be the crazy skeleton keys that I sell today. And if I would have given up back when I was in school selling little beaded geckos, I wouldn't be here today. Who knows what I would be? I probably would have went on and went ahead and been a preschool teacher.
Ew.
I'm really glad.
Nothing against preschool teachers. Y'all are the real heroes for sure.
Yeah,
But she's worked as a teacher before and it didn't work out.
Talking to my superiors and hearing about how they had to be on welfare to even be able to survive. It's like, this is my future? I can't.
Entrepreneurship is where it's at.
Oh, it is. It is. You have to you can stack childcare on top of this and be just fine though. If you're passionate about children, or find a different way to help children that, that has to do with business. You could start your own childcare service. Let's see.
Right there.
Thumbnails, before I tell people to go back or go and look at it because I'm embarrassed by the old ones. I haven't posted in months. How can I start again in a way that won't let my followers' expectations down? Just start.
Start.
Yeah.
If their expectations are too high, you don't want those people anyway.
Yeah, just start. People, the right people are going to stick with you even if you're not at your best, and they will stick with you far longer than anyone else. The people who started following me back when my business was crap and my jewelry was kind of crappy and I didn't know what I was doing and I had terrible photos, some of them still follow me today. I have one customer who has spent, how much do you think Trina's spent?
Oh God, I don't want to say.
Man, she spent so much money. I'm just giving first name. But we have one person who spent thousands
easily.
Thousands. Every time I release something, she buys all of it. Thousands. And she started following me years ago. She has so many of my necklaces and she just displays them proudly. And it's amazing. And she's followed me way before I had great photos or great products for that matter. I look at some of the keys that she treasures and I'm like, ooh, those are rough designs, but she loves them. And those are the people that will follow you until the very end. So just start now. You can always, get better in time, but you're never going to get better unless you start and you start gauging how people are reacting to the content that you're producing. You will never know that you need to change things if you can't see how they're reacting to it.
And if you need help with photo stuff, we do have the Picky training series on YouTube.
Why did I not shout that out? Yes, go into my channel. There is a little playlist bar, depending on if you're on desktop or mobile. Find the playlist bar and go into my photo editing series and watch all of it. It will help you tremendously. It is one of my most popular video series. Recording's kind of bad. It's got my old intro that's really bad. Just, it's very outdated, but the content is not.
And even if you don't use iPicky, you'll still get kind of an idea of what you should be looking for when you do your pictures.
I don't see why they wouldn't use iPicky. It's free. It's awesome.
Some
It's
people
comparable
like
to
Photoshop.
Yeah. Working on my photos driving me crazy. Gotta do it.
I needed to hear this. Good kick in the butt to get working.
Awesome.
Absolutely. That's a good way to motivate yourself too. Leave little inspirational notes and pictures and crap all around your house.
Ryan said, I'm working on branding for a new story, printable activity and puzzle pages. That's great. That is perfect for right now. Things that people can print at home, do with their kids, advertise it as a, is it for adults or is it for children? Advertise it though as things to do at home, things to spend time, doing at home, whether it be adult catered or children catered. And coloring pages. Awesome.
I sell journals. Oh, holy crap. You're way too far. Scroll down. Let me have it.
Oh. It was where I highlighted. That's where I just read.
Okay. I sell journals, among other things, but with the COVID-19, my supplier is not. I shouldn't have said that on the stream. That's just instant demonetization. My supplier is not open. I've had orders, and I'm lucky right now they're willing to wait, which is as of now May 1st. Holy crap! Yeah, you might need to find another supplier.
Yeah, I would say
you should always kind of have backups.
Yeah.
For your suppliers.
And you know what I've noticed is that no matter what you sell right now, what I would recommend doing is pay a little bit more and try to find an Etsy seller who might be able to supply you with what you need. There are so many Etsy sellers right now who are in the same position as we are, kind of hurting for sales. And they sell either similar supplies, or maybe you can shift your business a little bit so you can, create with the products that you get from Etsy. But there are a lot of people on Etsy right now who just specialize in the supplies that many of you need to run your businesses. I spent a little bit extra by shopping within the US for the first time. I normally have a couple supplies that I have to get from China because they're not available anywhere else. But I bought a couple things on Etsy for my business, and they weren't the supplies that I normally get. But I'm going to experiment with them. This is a time to test some new designs. So I'm going to experiment with these new supplies that I wouldn't normally have bought. And I might have found some new lifetime suppliers who are Etsy sellers who, live locally. Let's see. Trying to find moving care packages. I sell nursery decor, so I'm figuring 8 months from now I'll be pretty busy.
No, I agree with that. People are screwing.
Lots of I'm thinking about doing a newborn collection because I do predict a baby boom 2021. Absolutely, baby collections right now, guys. Baby stuff. Start thinking about baby stuff. It's gonna happen. It is going to happen.
The Coronials are probably gonna have weird names too. Cor or Rona. Yeah.
There was two babies, COVID and Corona.
Yeah, COVID and Corona.
Don't do that.
Please don't do that. Don't trend name your babies. Give your kid a name they're not gonna actively think, will my kid get made fun of for this if I name them this?
Yeah.
And then name them that. If the answer is yes, don't name them that.
What, you mean like Starla, where every time I introduced myself to someone in high school, they said, "Oh, if you wanted to be a stripper, you wouldn't even have to change your name." Thanks. I heard that. That and the Napoleon Dynamite character.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that there's a Starla in Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You guys gotta find Starla in Napoleon Dynamite and post a picture.
Dude, I didn't work hard. I wouldn't need to go home to Starla every day.
I heard that so much. My engraved drinking glasses sales are increasing now. Must be a lot of people sitting and drinking at home. This is nesting. They're nesting. They've got all these crappy drinking glasses, and now they're stuck at home, and they're realizing it, and they're like, you know what? These are crap. Half of them are broken. I need new ones. I'm going to go on Etsy and buy some custom ones, and there you go. That's awesome. When will you be doing your academy now that we have a bit of extra time? June 14th is when it opens to the public. We thought about opening it earlier, but the thing is, if we open it early, there will inevitably be people who say that we opened it to try to take advantage during a crisis. we don't want to deal with that. We know that you guys are home, but we also know that a lot of you aren't in the state to spend, spend that kind of money. We do give a big discount. And you know what? We don't normally talk about the price, but I think that because people are I think that we should.
The algorithm's gonna bury this video, but most of the people that watch our videos,
I'm not worried about that.
they're
It's
subscribers.
if you
so
mention
it doesn't matter.
if you mention COVID-19, you get not.
Also selling things. If you mention selling things,
No.
it buries it.
Handmade Alpha Academy opens twice a year. It opens for 10-day enrollment periods, but once you're in for life, and you get support for life, and you get my email address, Mark's email address, Nate's email address.
And the website updates, we don't guarantee an uptime, but the website's almost never down. We had an issue a couple weeks ago. I got it fixed in a day.
Yeah.
So,
It's and then you get the access to the private Facebook community where you can work with people like Amber Marie and kind of have you're in a group of people who are on the same path that you are. And we do $1,000 discount. Normally it's $1,997. So you guys get $1,000 discount. It's $997 for your $997 for your lifetime membership, but you can also do a 6-month payment plan for $199 a month. So if that's something that you're interested in, that is coming on June 14th. We will not be opening it early. I know that it kind of sucks because you guys are bored, but it puts us in a bad position. And
people think that we're abusing it. We thought about that. We actually thought about opening it early, specifically because it's not the first time we've had people ask us because they want, and because they've got their stimulus checks coming in and this, that, and the other, and they don't need it. So they're just like, hey, when are you opening the court? But we're not going to do that because we don't want that kind of publicity. We don't need the money.
Right.
And we don't want to seem like we're abusing a system.
Exactly. So just if you guys have the money set aside, just hold on to it. Just hold on to it until June. And we're going to keep updating you guys. If you want to get on the email list, like the waiting list, it's down below.
Yes.
Handmade Alpha Academy waiting list.
Otherwise, you're not going to have the link to get the $1,000 discount. You're going to have to pay the full price.
Right. If you're on any of my email lists, you'll get it. But that one ensures that's like our backup email, just in case our normal emails go to spam. You'll get an email from that one. That way, you guys actually get your $1,000 discount. So feel free to sign up for that. Signing up does not obligate you to buy it. Just make sure that you actually get the link for the $1,000 discount when you sign up. All right, back on topic. All the kids are home being homeschooled. So school supply and activities for kids should be big right now. Could be something there. Who knows? No, that's true, Tony. Yeah, absolutely.
I would look into the future as well, around end of July, early August, when people are starting to get the school supplies for the next school year, especially since we're kind of unsure whether or not people are going to be back in school. And even if they are, shopping in stores is still going to kind of be a no-no leading up to that point. So if
book
you
pencil
sell
cases.
Book bags, pencil cases, paper products like notebooks and things like that, pencils, pens, stickers, all of those things that kids are going to need for school, index cards, just cards in general, envelopes, depending on what kind of career field they're going into, if they're college or whatever. People are going to need school supplies, and they're not going to want to go to stores yet. And stores aren't going to be reopening. If the estimates are correct, schools are going to be back in, but it's going to be right on the border of when it's okay to go back out again. So people aren't going to be shopping for school supplies in stores. They're going to be shopping online.
And not to mention, think about all the parents who are homeschooling for the first time, and they're realizing, that for some reason they like it. No offense to our homeschool moms, but I'm sure that there's a couple of you who are homeschooling your kids right now, and you're like, man, I like this. I could get used to this. I'm not sending my kids back to school. So, you might see a rise in people who decide to homeschool their children after this, out of fear or out of, maybe they like it.
Which is great, because public schools are too damn crowded anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the kids are home right now, because they're little disease bombs. They go in and pick up all these diseases and bring them home. Let's see.
Little disease bombs.
Little
I
disease
read that
bombs.
already.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Jennifer Ladd.
For no essential items like special occasions.
Special occasion dresses for little girls.
Okay. How you think I should market during stay-at-home rules? Special discounts or sales?
Don't do constant discounts. This is how brands run themselves out of business because people come to expect that low price all the time. Pivot. What are people doing? They're still at home doing photo shoots, doing pictures at home. At home photo shoots. Moms are trying to get good pictures of their kids. They can't hire photographers, so they're trying it at home. So there's something for you. Dress up at home. People are still, for example, Easter. People are still doing Easter. I mean, it's too late for you to market for Easter, but people are still doing Easter dinner. People are still going to be doing family cookouts. There are ways to pivot. I would say right now, cater to the people who would have a necessity for a really pretty occasion dress. Photographers who are trying to get cute pictures of their kids at home. And I would also say, possibly people who are planning for weddings in the fall when things are better. Start thinking about fall weddings and winter weddings. I know that sounds crazy because we're just now getting into summer and this is technically supposed to be wedding season. Start thinking about all the people that are going to finally have their weddings after all this is over. All the weddings, you have to think about it like this. All these weddings that were supposed to be spread out throughout the summer are all getting pushed into one big pile that's all going to be, released like little mushroom spores in the fall.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
And people think it's not that bad, but I mean, Ohio alone just banned meetings of 10 people or more. Like, police will actually come and separate groups of 10 or more now. So, yeah.
So I should renew a listing when the quantity runs out, not just update the quantity.
No, not necessarily. Because if you've got something that's selling out, you don't really need the boost in the SEO. You've already got it scooting.
Yeah, that when it sells, it renews. It's the same thing. It sells, it renews. You renew it, it renews. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to renew a listing when the quantity runs out because when you want to make sure that you are renewing that singular listing. If it's completely out, you are renewing it and adding more to the quantity is renewing it. If you have a quantity of 1 and you add another and then you increase it to a quantity of 2, that's not renewing it.
But you don't really need to anyway.
Right, but once it sells out entirely,
it's there. You don't have a choice.
It is renewing.
Yeah, it is renewing it.
Yeah,
it's
reactivating
the listing.
Let's
school
see.
counselor here.
Hello.
Awesome. You're one of the great heroes of the U.S. Y'all need more money. I'm on that boat. I think y'all deserve more money.
Might not be U.S.
It doesn't matter. Everywhere in the world, you probably deserve more money.
It's promoting ads on Facebook and Instagram. A good thing to try.
Depends on what you sell and where your audience is.
Yeah, try it.
Give it a shot. I'm sure you've got all the time in the world now.
It's always a good thing to try. Try everything. Try everything once. And if it works, that's great. And if it doesn't, here's the thing. Facebook and Instagram are in the offsite ads that Etsy is promoting for everybody. Right now, we all have them. Etsy's kind of doing us a little favor, right now. They're helping us out, giving us those offsite ads for free for a little while to enjoy because they know that things are hard. That's why we're seeing an increase in sales right now. So...
I remember you said you'll end up with a customer who has a crazy shrine to you, and it's a little humbling, a little creepy, and a little pride-worthy all in one. And the moment you get caught at a show by someone asking to say hello, like permission to say hi to me, hell yeah. Yeah.
Penguins and Paper Chain said, thanks. I think I'll rewatch the Fear module again. I never think I'm scared about business, but I'm realizing social media is what I'm scared of. Yeah, we have a Fear module in Handmade Alpha Academy. It's the very first module that you have to watch when you go in, and it talks about why fear is just kind of pointless. So why to not use fear? Pro tip, don't use iPicky to edit photos if you have the hiccups. That's hilarious. Yeah, there is a back button, thankfully. Trying to just go through and find last minute questions. Self-pampering products, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Ova.
This might sound weird, but we're thinking about doing 2 different types of branding. Our current is geeky and family friendly, but we wanted to have a bearded and geeky strong guy leather side too. Yeah.
Geeky and family friendly, but what is it? Because of this.
Yeah, it depends on the product, I guess.
Yeah, but keep in mind that there are brands that have like two directions. For example, like maybe we talk about like uh
Every week.
Itty's Medicine. There are brands that have, you know, a kit like Pottery Barn, normal Pottery Barn, and Pottery Barn Kids, but they're separate stores. So it really just depends, you know, if you're making like family friendly products, but then you have like I would say that they should be separate or have a cohesive element that ties them together. Um,
Do you think the jewelry market is going to have problems during this time since no one can wear it anywhere, or would it be best to market it as a gift or brighten somebody's day? Man, social media is such a big thing that people will buy crap to wear. It's not crap, but they'll buy stuff to wear just to take a freaking picture to put on their Instagram. So, no, I don't think it's a big deal.
I sell jewelry.
Um,
I sell jewelry, and we've seen, for some reason, we're seeing, you know, a decent amount of sales right now. It doesn't matter. People are going to buy things, whether they're going to be wearing it out or they're going to wear it just for themselves. They're going to get that little yearning in their heart that says, wow, I really like this. And they're either going to buy it for themselves or they're going to buy it for someone else. I definitely think that you should market for sending, like, you know, make sure that you say that I can ship directly to your gift recipient, you know, gifting from a distance. Absolutely do that. But that's not all you have to do. And those aren't the only buyers you're going to have. So do that on top of what you're already doing.
Heather said, save your stimulus checks until June. So, little tip, probably don't spend your stimulus checks on us, actually. I kind of don't want that because it's not just free money. Like, you're going to pay it back. One way or the other, it's a loan. And they might not be dressed up like that, and they might not say that you're going to pay it back, but you're going to pay it back.
It's taxable, right?
I don't think so. No, usually government stimuluses aren't taxable. I'm not sure. Somebody might be able to comment and prove me wrong with a legit source, but I don't think so. It's kind of like that military housing allowance. How it was. That's technically a stimulus. So people are using Pinterest more, especially since they're all nesting. I mean, it's 102.
I know, I'm just looking for last minute. I'm not highlighting because I want you to read them. I'm highlighting so it doesn't zip down the page really fast. Side note, Starla, I don't know if you saw, but the State of Handmade survey results are in. I haven't received an email for it, but I saw it on their Facebook page. Yes, I did. I went over it. The reason that I didn't decide to do a Q&A about it is because there were only 1,800 something people polled, and I thought that the number of pollees was going to be a lot bigger. 1,800 people isn't, I mean, it's good results. Definitely go to the State of Handmade. Just do Google State of Handmade 2020 survey, and you can all get those results as a PDF for free. It wasn't enough that I'm confident enough to like say that these are, I mean, it's a good batch, but 1,800 people out of how many sellers on Etsy?
Hundreds of thousands. It's an irrelevant amount of people.
I feel like if we did a poll, we could probably get more
We
people.
did do polls. We did polls on every one of our pages on how people were doing. Remember? You did all those polls. Have they seen an increase in sales? Have they seen a decrease in
like
sales?
a poll like what the State of Handmade did with how much money they make. I'm saying
yeah.
if we did a poll like that, I think we could get more people than what they got to actually take the poll. But it's good information. We just probably won't do a full Q&A on it because it wasn't as much as I was hoping for. But feel free to Google it, print it out. I'm definitely going to print it out and have a copy, just, you know, just a small batch, but it wasn't enough that I feel like it can speak for all of Etsy sellers. But yeah, definitely grab that.
That would
free.
be kind of impossible anyway. And Della said it's not taxable income. I'm a tax CPA for a day job, so there you go. I didn't think it was. I probably was pretty sure because military housing allowance that we received for years was non-taxable, and that was considered a stimulus. So I figured it's the same thing.
Right. All right, guys, I hope that this helped you. Just make sure that when you're marketing, market to the things that people are, you know, needing right now. We talked about emotional comfort, physical comfort, environmental comfort, social comfort, and family comfort. So think about the ways that you can shift your message for your product and make it relevant for the next few months, whether that be, it can be sent as a gift. I can send it directly to your recipient. You know, this is for you to enjoy at home. This is to occupy the kids at home. Find a way to shift and start studying the ads that you're seeing on social media right now. Every time you see an ad, don't just scroll past it. look at it and see how that brand has adapted their message. The more that you start looking at these ads and thinking critically about them, the more that you can start applying what already works for them. If it's working for them, odds are it's something that works for you, and you don't have to do all the market research. You can kind of extract the golden nuggets from them. When you click on Mother's Day holiday options on the listing, am I need to add the tag Mother's Day? No, you don't have to. When you click on Mother's Day holiday
Do I need to add the tag?
No, you don't have to. In your attributes, you mean? No, attributes count as tags, so you don't have to add a tag that also says Mother's Day. So, all right, guys.
Bean of the week.
Bean of the week. Thank you. We keep forgetting to do Bean of the week. This week and last week and the week before that's Bean of the week that we forgot to mention is Lisa from Puddle Ducks Treasures. Her Etsy shop is linked down below. Be sure to say hello to Lisa. Go see some of her adorable little felted critters. She's been a handmade alpha for a long time, so we are super duper excited to have her as our Bean of the Week this week. Make sure that you join the Handmade Alpha Facebook community down below. It is totally free to join. Link is down there somewhere, along with a bunch of other freebies and things that we have for you. But Handmade Alpha Facebook community is where we choose our Bean of the Week. The most active alpha of the week gets chosen for our Bean of the Week. So get in there, start commenting, hanging out, talking to alphas, and helping them out. Make sure that you're helping the community. A couple freebies down there. We have a little 7-day email series that you can sign up for where, and I might send more than 7, just depending on if we have more news. But basically, it's going to help you through the coronavirus, give you some practical tips for your kids, some of the things that I'm doing, and things to de-stress. We also have a little guide down there for the summer sales stall, which is the natural occurrence where sales tend to decrease a little bit as the weather warms up because people are spending time outside. Since we're experiencing a bit of a sales stall right now, though, you can start applying those tips immediately. So you can sign up down below, get that for free, print it out, and start using it now. And then last thing is the Handmade Alpha Academy will be opening on June 14th. It will be open for only 10 days, and you guys can get a $1,000 discount on your enrollment if you are on our email list. If you sign up for any of those freebies, you will automatically be on there. But if you want to make super duper sure that you get your discount, there's also a Handmade Alpha Academy waiting list linked down below. Joining that waiting list does not mean that you have to buy HAA when it opens, but it does make sure that you actually get the discount if you do choose to enroll. So
make sure you subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button down below if you haven't done that already. Also, make sure you hit the little bell icon to make sure you get notified when we stream every week. Give us a like if you like the video. Give us a like if you didn't like the video, because I like that. And then
Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter.
Having an awesome Easter. Enjoy your stinky eggs. I hate the smell of hard-boiled. I love hard-boiled eggs, but man, they stink. Then you get them stinky egg farts. Just, eggs. Enjoy your guys' eggs and your chocolate and your Reese cups, and be safe, guys, for realsies. Make sure that, you're washing your hands, using your hand sanitizer, wearing your masks. Change your clothes after you go to the grocery store. Stay away from sick people and stay home as much as you can. We love you guys, and we hope that you have an awesome weekend.
Bye-bye.